Okay, so this is a long one. This is in the best of Reddit update, and I hope to be able to finish it up in 10 minutes. He says, ex-wife married my best friend and it's killing me and destroyed my marriage. This and an update. So this is a good one. This man is in his find out season. This started back in February. So he's 37. His current wife is 26, 37 and 26. He says, I have been with my wife for 5 years, married 4. We have 3 kids from her previous relationships, 2 boys and 1 girl between the ages of 5 and 8. I really love her and her kids. Things were perfect until 3 or 4 months ago. I've had 3 big promotions in 5 years. We bought a house last year. She stays home with the kids and is trying to make social media career happen. I have always been on the fence about having kids, but she really wanted us to have one together, so I agreed to try to have my vasectomy reversed. She is 7 months pregnant now. We are so effing happy. My ex-wife, my ex-wife who's 38, divorced me in 2019 and moved about 2 hours away a few months into the pandemic. Our divorce was amicable, but once it was finalized, I never heard from her again, even when I would wish her well on birthdays and holidays. I even sent her a graduation gift when I heard that she finished her PhD program. Other people in our social circle, including my parents and sister-in-law who sent her a gift, received handwritten thank you cards. I didn't get so much as a text. My ex-wife is a really kind and thoughtful person, and the woman I knew would have at least sent a thank you text if her worst enemy sent her a gift. Even though we broke up, I didn't think she hated me. My best friend, 35-year-old man, and I were best friends since college. He's the best person I know, and at least 10 people think he's their best friend. But he said that I was always his. We kind of lost touch during the pandemic. We live 2 hours apart, and he is a lawyer and teaches classes at a university, so he is really busy. I have a really busy career and a new wife and 3 kids. I didn't realize that the texts between us were fewer and that the last time he finally replied to me was late 2021. He also falls off the face of the earth when he gets a new girl, and then when things cool off, we all hear from him more. We have always been the kind of friends that could go an extended period of time without communicating and then pick right up where we left off. I kept saying that I would eventually call him when things were less busy. My wife and I went to visit the city he and my ex-wife live in last summer for a week, and I tried calling him a couple of times to meet up, but he never answered. I was sad, but just figured he was busy with work or obsessed with a new girlfriend. I have other friends there, so I got to see them. Then I went to the city again by myself in October for a Halloween party. I figured he'd be at this party, and I was psyched that I get to see him then. He was there. When I went to say hi and hug him, he looked surprised and gave me a weak hug. I told him that I was there during the summer and that I tried calling him so we can hang out. He just said, "Yeah, I was on my honeymoon that week. Sorry I didn't get back to you." I was really shocked to hear that he'd gotten married and a little hurt that my best friend got married without me even knowing he had a serious girlfriend, but still happy for him. Like I said, he was a great guy and girls love him. I spit out a rush of questions like, who is she? Where is she? What's her name? What's she like? Where'd you meet her? How long have you been together? He paused for a moment and then just bluntly said, it's ex-wife's name. My ex-wife doesn't have a unique name or anything, but it isn't the most common name either, and I instantly knew it was her. I can't describe how it felt to hear those 2 words come out of his mouth. I felt sick to my stomach and I immediately wanted to die. I've never felt like that before. I just said, what the F? He told me that I didn't get mad, but he told me that I didn't get to be mad because I broke her heart and they didn't start dating until 2 years after we got divorced, and that I chose to be with some waitress anyway. I drank the rest of the weekend because it was the only way I was able to sleep. I felt betrayed by both of them. My best friend since I was 20 years old married my ex-wife behind my effing back. I was married to her for 6 years and they were never even friends, and now they were in love with each other. I also found out that he talked about my current wife and me behind my back and never liked her. I went back home and I know that I was distant with my wife and kids because I was just hurting so much. After a couple of weeks, we had a big fight and she called me out on being distant and accused me of cheating. I finally came clean and told her about my ex and my best friend, which she scoffed about and said she'd known about them for a long time now because of social media. I flew into a rage and we fought for hours. She betrayed me by not telling me the entire time she knew. She didn't say anything when I mentioned my best friend not returning my calls or messages. I didn't get to sleep before going to work, and after work, I just stayed with my parents for a few days. When I finally went back home, we got into another fight where she accused me of still being in love with my ex and said that I wouldn't care if I wasn't. I called her stupid and said she wouldn't understand because she doesn't have any friends. I wouldn't care if my ex wife got married to anyone else if it wasn't my best friend. I don't see what's so hard to understand about that. Eventually, we made up, but I feel sick to my stomach every day, and things aren't the same in our relationship. I love my wife, but I've come to realize it's not the same way I loved my ex wife. My wife doesn't love me the same way my ex wife did either. I have started to regret the things that led to our divorce because we were really happy until the moment she left me. I don't even have my best friend to call because he's too busy effing my ex wife to care about me anymore. Everything feels empty, like a lie now. And a lot of the friends agree that they both betrayed me, but think I need to move on. Even my dad and brother told me to get over it. My sister in law yelled at me, and my mom tries to comfort me, but I know she's over hearing about my problems. I have to pretend I'm okay, but I'm not. No one gives about mental health when it comes to me, when it comes to men. I brought up couples therapy to my wife, but she said that she thinks we are okay since we worked through things. Yes, I have to pretend for the rest of my life now because divorce is not on the table. I need advice on what to do and how to get closure. I'm thinking of driving to their city to just show up and force them to talk to me so I can move on. Is that too much to ask? How do I get my wife to see that it is hard to trust her after knowing she kept a big secret from me for a long time? Update. The overwhelming consensus here is that I am a piece of which is true. The other consensus is that I need therapy. I asked my brother to help me, but neither of us know where to begin to find a therapist. He said he would ask his wife to help us, and she texted me this morning and said she was only helping because of my brother. I guess that's fair. This is obviously going to need two posts because this is long, and I haven't even gotten through the original one. But y'all need to know this. He cheated on his ex-wife, and y'all should have been able to kind of see where that was going, because when men write some of these, they leave out a lot of things because I guess they try to make themselves look better, but he was a cheater to begin with. All right, so he confirms that he cheated on his ex-wife with his current wife. He says, my ex-wife found out about me sleeping with my current wife. I broke up with my current wife for my ex-wife so we could work things out. She decided she wanted a divorce a couple of months later, even though I begged her to try with me. Out of respect, I tried to make sure the divorce was as easy as possible. I got back together with my current wife while we separated. So he is messy. All right. So he continues in another comment. I do really wish that I found out that day and felt happy for them, or at least felt nothing. I buried a lot of feelings down when I married my current wife, and they all came flooding out. I miss my best friend. I miss my ex wife. I'm so sorry I hurt her. I love her and never stopped loving her. And that scares me because I don't want to hurt my wife. I know I effed up. That's the thing about these MFers. They don't care about other people in the moment. Like they don't have any foresight on how things might be impacted and how other relationships might be impacted by them cheating on folks. And this man has lost a lot of relationships, and he's going to end up in the old man Mojo Dojo Casa house because he married his affair partner. And obviously, that is a marriage based on lies and cheating. So, how long is this going to last? Who knows? All right, I'm going to end this there, and I'm going to do a part two because, like I said, this is a long. All right, so this is part two of the video I just did. This is where this man is continuing to feel the impact of his find out season. He cheated on his ex wife with his current wife. He's now married to his current wife, and he found out that his ex-wife is married to his best friend. It's just a whole cluster F of major proportions. That started back in February. This update is from April. All right, he says, this is kind of an update to my last post a few months ago, and I'm also hoping for advice on how to best navigate this. I have tried a couple of times to write this update, but I get stressed trying to make it all make sense, so I will just dump it all here and hope it comes out okay. When I tried to post with my original account, the mods deleted my post and said that I need to add throwaway. I guess I should start by saying that I have a lot more issues than my original post addressed or than I even recognized at the time. Therapy is helping me uncover a lot and it's really uncomfortable on the good days and crushing on the bad days. So many people talk about how they feel so much better after going to therapy, but I feel worse. I'm still going to go through I'm through because for as much as it sucks, it is helping me learn better ways of dealing with things. It is also helping me explain myself to me a little better. Like I am a shitty person, but I wasn't always a shitty person, and I'm starting to see where it all went wrong. I feel like understanding that is the only way I can address those things and then become a better person. I did inpatient therapy. Then, after my release, I see a therapist in her office once a week and meet virtually once a week. I also see a psychiatrist once every 2 weeks and started on some medications. It's weird how I can see, how I kind of see them helping parts of my brain, but dulling other parts and making my body not feel the best. I try to explain it to the doctor, but he just tells me it's going to take some time for them to fully work and that eventually I'll get used to it. My wife had the baby, but while I was away, she told me about the possibility of the baby not being mine. I grieved so much, but I decided it wasn't much good in dwelling on it too much right now until we know for sure once she is born. The results came back last week, and she isn't mine. We haven't made any decisions right now about our relationship, but are living together for the sake of the kids and her recovery from having the baby. She said that if I didn't want to be with her anymore, she'd go back to her home state with her mom and stepdad. She also mentioned that she knew she wouldn't get any alimony or child support because of our state, but I told her I'd help her get back home and on her feet if that's what ended up happening. Since I got back home, I have stepped up more and been more active as a dad, which has been really good for me. Being a responsible and present father helps me forget about all the other stuff in the moment, but it would be a lie for me to say that I don't worry about how much it'll hurt to lose them if we break up. Since they are not biologically or legally mine, I also just worry about them a lot and think they deserve to have a safe and stable, happy childhood. I'm really sad about that the baby isn't mine. I wanted her to be mine more than anything in the world, but I find it really hard to be angry with my wife for some reason. I cheated on my first wife with her, so it's kind of karma in a way. And what could I really expect when our relationship started the way that it did? Plus, there's this other part of me that understands that she is a deeply damaged person like me. I don't really want to go into a lot of details, but we both lived through some similar happening to us when we were kids that bonded us. Neither of us really dealt with it, but I thought I was okay because I grew up privileged and she didn't. So I always had more opportunities than she did. I also thought that since I didn't think about it as much, I was okay. She thought about it all the time and she wasn't okay. My wife is an amazing woman and she deserves to be happy. I sent her an email and just kind of poured my heart out about how sorry I am for hurting her. I would rip my heart out to give to her if it helped her heal from the heartbreak I caused her. I said in the email that I didn't expect a reply and that I would never attempt to contact with her again after that. She got in contact with my brother a few times to check on me and she's called me twice and we talked for a few hours about everything. She's really happy and she's doing well. I'm proud of her and she deserves to be happy. I'm really lucky that I had the years that I had with her, but now it's time to accept how I screwed up and try my best to do better going forward. I don't think I will ever contact her again, but would be happy to hear from her if she ever reaches out again. It still hurts a little, but I understand now that that door is fully closed. The door with my friend is closed too. We haven't spoken and we probably never will, but that's okay. I found out from other friends that he was always in love with my ex wife and that he was the person who convinced her to move where they live now after our divorce. I think knowing helps because the story I created in my head was far worse. I also understand now why no one wanted to tell me. My brother and I got so close again, which his wife isn't the happiest about. I'm not sure where I would be right now if it wasn't for him. We invited them over during the weekend at one point she and I were in a room alone for a few minutes and I told her that I was sorry and she just hugged me and told me that I was stupid, but that she knows I'm trying. I also have two really good friends who have been there for me through everything, even though they have been clear from the very beginning that they have not agreed with my actions. All of them are more than I deserve. My relationship with my parents isn't in the best place right now. They are both really mad at me because my brother confronted them about what I told him related to the thing that happened when I was a kid. They feel like they feel like he is blaming them and that they really did the best they could for me. I think they are really embarrassed. I get it, and I don't really blame them. I don't think they knew what to do, but I'm not going to apologize to them either. So until I do, they don't really want to be around me. Oh my goodness. I am not sure that this is the update that everyone wanted to read, but that's all I got. My life is still very much in limbo, maybe even shambles, but I'm doing my best to fix it and fix some of the hurts that I've caused others. I would recommend therapy as much as everyone recommended to me, but I would caution to add that it requires a lot of honesty to work and that sometimes that kind of honesty reopens old wounds. But those wounds are dirty and infected, so you got to clean them up and treat them to get better, which is going to hurt, but I'm not sure there's any other way. So, like I said, this was a very long one. He goes on. He's talking in the comments. The baby girl that he was hoping was his was a fling from the gym, but that's neither here nor there. He got with a woman that was damaged because he was damaged. But this just goes to show that men need emotional intelligence and that parents really should stop buying into these traditional boxes of masculinity and femininity where they neglect boys' emotional intelligence. Boys should have a range of emotions that they're allowed to feel. Boys should have the opportunity to talk to parents when things are going wrong. They should be able to have this open communication so that they don't hold things in and have issues and not have the emotional tools to be able to handle these things because then they end up being these broken adults that can't really navigate relationships. So that's what I got out of this long best of Reddit's update. That's where I'm going to end it. Y'all jump in the comments. Let me know what you think about this one. Don't forget to like, comment, and share. Okay, so now we have a woman doing an Am I the A-hole thread. And when women do this, they are simply looking for validation for feeling normal human emotions. For the title, Am I the A-hole for wanting to leave my husband after he stole from me? Even reading that title, no, we don't even need to do this post. No, you're not the a-hole. If he stole from you, he's a liar. Okay, but let's do the post anyway. She says, When I was 5, my Nana gave me her tea set. It was given to her by her mother. My Nana had no daughters of her own, and I was the only girl of her 11 grandchildren, so she gave it to me. It's a full-blown china set. I don't know if it has monetary value, but it has sentimental value, but its sentimental value is immeasurable. I've had it, kept it, used it for nearly 28 years. I wanted to pass it down to my own daughter or granddaughter one day. My husband knows all of this. His sister and her family came to stay with us for a week. Whenever I have little girls over, I pull out my tea set for a tea party. I make tea sandwiches, scones, cakes, biscuits. My Nana made tea parties a big deal with me, and I carry that on. So me, my sister-in-law, and her daughter had an afternoon tea party. It was a couple of weeks after that I had my friend and her daughters coming to visit. I planned a tea party. Morning of, I baked, made sandwiches, went to pull my tea set out, and it was gone. I keep it in a cabinet in my kitchen. I wash it and put it away every time until the next time. I went a little mad looking for it. The visit came and went. I spent days tearing my house apart looking for it. Every cabinet, drawer, cupboard, and the whole house was turned inside out. My husband even helped me. He was insistent that it couldn't have grown feet and walked away on its own. That's what gets to me. He knew damn well where it was, but he pretended that I had misplaced it. He knew how upset I was and tried to comfort me with promises to buy me a new set. as though a new set could replace my Nana's. A few weeks later, he came home with a cheap, thin looking set that he bought at Walmart or something. I threw it in the bin. Call me ungrateful if you want. I don't care. I was ungrateful. Something you treasure, something of great sentimental value given to you by your long dead Nana cannot be replaced no matter how much or little, in this case, the replacement cost. Then I heard my husband on the phone. I heard him say that when we visit, to put it away and tell Melly not to mention it because I'm still upset about it. He didn't say the words T said, but I knew. I knew that's what he was talking about. I walked in while he was still on the phone and called him a thief. He was like a deer in headlights. He quickly hung up and tried to explain. I wouldn't hear it. I told him to get it back. His sister called me and I called her a thief. I told her to return it in the same condition she took it, or I would be calling the police, and then I hung up on her. My husband tried reasoning with me. He told me his niece loved it so much, and that kind of thing is really is for little girls. He said he was going to talk to me about leaving it to her anyway, so where is the harm that she has it now? He said I was too old to be playing around with kids' toys, and I really should grow up. He said I was immature and it means nothing. What he meant is that it means nothing to him, so I should forget it. The next day, I not only went to the police to report the theft, but I also called my brother who lives in the same city as my husband's sister. My brother went around and got my tea set. My husband was livid and spent a couple of days calling me a lot of derogatory names. His tune changed when he came home to find me packing my stuff. He stole from me and pretended he didn't know anything about it, insulted me, tried to gaslight me. Now he's saying how sorry he is and that we can work this out. I don't think we can. I look at him and see someone who steals from me, lies to me, makes me feel small, someone untrustworthy who doesn't care about me. Two of my brothers will be here tomorrow to help me move. I'm taking everything that means anything to me. I don't think I'll see any of it again if I leave it with him. We can fight it out in court about the rest. I've been told that I'm an a-hole to leave him over a tea set, but it's not just a tea set. It's my Nana's history. It's my history. It's years of happy memories with her, with my mother and other female relatives and friends. He stole all that from me when he gave it away. Am I the a-hole for calling it quits? You weren't the a-hole just by reading the title, but then after reading the rest of it, absolutely not. You're not the a-hole. He is a liar. He tried to cover it up. He got his family involved with lying to you. He is untrustworthy, and this is not somebody that you can build a future with. All right, so this person says, not the a-hole, glad you got it back and that you know it's time to go. Good luck. And then this person says, you're right. Good thing she knew it was time to go. OP lied about this. What else has he lied about? Definitely take everything that means even a small amount to you and let the courts decide what you can keep. That's the thing about social media these days. Everybody is just like, we're doing this social media group circle or group chat. No, we're not accepting lies and cheating anymore. And the men, or just liars in general, because women can be liars, when people who are liars and cheaters need to be on notice. Maybe you should just be a decent person. This person says, not only did he lie about it, he pretended to actively look for it while knowing full well how upset the OP was over her tea set missing. And he even told his sister to hide it from you when they came over. He was wrong every step of the way. That is a different level of diabolical. He knew what he did was wrong. He lied and tried to cover his actions. He does not get to decide what the OP does with her things. This was a sentimental, much loved, and used regularly treasured heirloom, and he has zero rights to it and some gall trying to tell the OP how she should feel about it and that she is too old for it, not for him to decide. Absolutely. So then the OP is in the comment section. So this person, Spooner, says, so you're going to uproot your life, struggle with loneliness, maybe financially, pay a lawyer, live in a strange home or apartment. I agree it was totally wrong, but I think you need to calm down, deal with this a different way. I really think this has nothing to do with a tea set. Can't be. Now, this is where men are trying to cover for men. That you know that this is a man, and they do not want women to get it in their mind that they should leave when a man misbehaves. Because if more of us keep talking about this type of thing and they refuse to be different people, they are going to be the ones that are lonely, because women can come together and create community with our family and with our friends. They do not have that capacity because they are not that emotionally intelligent. But here's the OP responding. She says, it's funny how everyone thinks I should stay. I'm sorry, it's funny how everyone who thinks I should stay never acknowledges that he broke our marriage over a tea set. I'm walking away because of the lies, the manipulation, the verbal abuse, the gaslighting, his refusal to see his wrongdoing that came after the theft. And then Spooner says, people deal with infidelity, alcoholism, drug abuse, health, mental health, family tragedy, trauma, a T set, good luck. So he is trying to reduce her feelings down to nothing because it's not drug abuse. But so, put these big things up there and then try to reduce hers down to something small so that she stays. Why? Liars really want other liars to still kind of win in the end. She says, people put up with all forms of abuse, so why can't I just shut my pie hole, jump on the bandwagon, and put up with it too? Because abusing your partner is normal. My luck is looking up. I got rid of dead weight. How could I not improve? And he says, so I was right. It's not just the T set. That's what I said on the first post, and that's all you had to say. And then she goes on to say, did you even read the post? Because she gave all of the reasons why she was leaving. It was never just the T set. Dude is a liar. All right. Jump into the comments. I am glad that women are having these aha moments or these, yeah, no, that was my red line and I'm just going to leave. How are you guys feeling about this? I'm loving that women are walking away and that the community is saying, no, you don't have to accept that. But you let me know what you think. Jump in the comments. Let me know. Like, comment, share. Now I'm going to talk about this. We've talked about this before, but this is in the DoorDash subreddit. Creepy men using feminine names. She says, I've used DoorDash every now and then, but this week my girlfriend was out of town and I fell sick with the flu. I ran out of groceries and I can't really go outside since I'm dealing with terrible fevers and headaches. So I've been using DoorDash this entire week. One thing I noticed is that many of the Dashers' names tend to be feminine names like Deborah or Lucy and Vanessa, but they've all turned out to be men. I found it a bit weird that they're all men, but not only that, the moment they find out I'm a woman, they start to get oddly flirty. A couple of days ago, I accidentally grabbed onto one of the guy's hand while trying to pick up my order, and he got a bit too excited about it. Today, I just picked up an order from a Deborah who turned out to be a middle-aged man who kept staring at me and called out to me when I was headed back to my apartment. He said something in Spanish, so I don't know what he said. I live in a gated community and I don't live alone, but this is seriously creepy and I'm not sure if this is a common occurrence on DoorDash. Anyone else experience this or know what's up? This person says, I'm a customer and I have my name as Steve because of an interaction between myself and a DoorDasher asking too many personal questions. For context, I was not home. My teenage daughter wanted food and I ordered for her and then was panicked because the Dasher was being creepy and she was home alone. So I pose as a male when ordering so that the Dashers believe there is a male living in my home. I can't think of a good reason men are posing as women, but I can think of some bad ones. People need to know and understand how much women go through just to remain safe. They act like women are going bonkers because they are saying that they choose a bear over a man. But the thing is, these men do so much creepy stuff that how else are women supposed to stay safe? All of this that we have to talk about is wild because we know where threats really lie. This person says people with a record that can't drive for DoorDash will have someone else sign up for their paperwork. And Cool Pirate says, yes, and people who aren't from here will do that as well. It's not safe. Sure, people need to make a living, but this isn't the way. It's creepy and probably illegal. This person says, wait, so you're telling me it's illegal for people who came here illegally to work? Shocking. LOL. This person says gig work is being overran with people who are buying stolen identities and opening up multiple accounts and grabbing any and all orders. It's happening over on the Walmart delivery platform as well too. Same scenario. This person says 1005, and there are also people who rent their own accounts and have no regard for who is paying them to use it. Opens up a huge danger for creeps and the criminally minded
who otherwise wouldn't be allowed on this app. This person said, even then, it's only one account that a person can rent. The bigger problem are the ones that buy 20 plus identities and running as an organized crime ring. They are also using fake IDs and falsifying plates too. At least the ones renting, likely the car and plates belong to one individual driving. With the rings, they are completely fake. So if there is an accident or a problem of some kind, the plates aren't going to identify anyone involved. You can call Walmart and the name isn't going to come back to them either. They are essentially ghosts that could do whatever they pleased, and no one would have any way of knowing who they are. I worry for our elderly mostly. Would be easy enough to target them and take any cash or valuables. I have a little Nana that every time I see her name, I grab it up, no matter the price, simply because I don't want some creep going to her house. Whew, I didn't know this. That's the reason why social media is so important these days, and why people sharing could help the next person, because who would even know this? So this person says, me too. The last time it said a woman was doing it and a middle-aged man showed up alone, I made my husband go greet him. This person said, thank God you had your husband there. It's just me and my mom here, and I barely order stuff to the house. But this whole post made me want to never do it at all. Never order anything where I have to go out and greet the person, because 9 times out of 10, I'm always by myself. This person says, listen, if that does happen, when you open the door to order it, just a second and turn back around and yell into the house. If you're yelling at your husband, whatever you want to yell at your pretend husband, and then keep a pair of big giant work boots on your porch, it'll be good to go. It's wild that so many of us have to come up with these strategies. It's wild. It's wild what women have to go through just to be safe. And folks, and these men sitting up here railing about feminism and women not wanting to be in relationships, where women are sitting up here having strategies to order food. That's just where we are. All right, so y'all jump in the comments. If you made it this far, thanks. And if you haven't yet subscribed, just go ahead and hit that follow button. Like, comment, share.